What you may feel is that everything is too much. That's usually how pressure hits. It's one big overwhelm, and the details are harder to isolate. I'm Kevin Allen Kerber, and this is the Pressure Audit Kit. It's the walkthrough of the first worksheet, the pressure map. Here's what you're going to get out of this one. By the end, you'll have 3 named pressures identified, not solved, but named, and that alone changes what you can do next. So grab your worksheet, it's something to write with, and you could follow along without it, but the page does most of the work. Here's why the pressure map starts wide. When you're under load, whatever's loudest gets to speak for everything. The bill that's due becomes proof that the whole year's falling apart. So the map makes you look at the entire field before you let anything win. Center of the page is a circle, 20 areas of pressure arranged around it, each with a 5-point scale underneath. 3 writing boxes at the bottom. Notice it's a circle and not a ranked list. Money isn't automatically more legitimate than creative work. Health isn't just the right answer because it sounds serious. Parenting, visibility, uncertainty, identity, the future. Same field, same weight. The layout's telling you something. Notice what's active, not what should be. So first pass, don't rate anything yet. Just read around the circle and pay attention to your body, the signals it gives you. Start at the top with money and move slowly around and look at all of them for at least a beat. And check in with yourself as you do. Some words will do something, a little tightening, maybe a flash of urgency, a wish to move past it fast. That's information. You don't have to explain it. Go ahead and read around the circle, and I suggest you pause this while you work with that. Now the scales. Rate each area based on how much pressure you feel right now. Right now matters. You're not ranking what's important across your whole life. You're not deciding what would sound most responsible if somebody read your page over your shoulder. You're taking a reading of today. Left side of the scale is little or nothing, and the right side is the most you feel there at this moment. Use it as a prompt, not as a measurement. A 3 doesn't need a defense, and a 5 doesn't mean your situation is objectively worse than anybody else's. You're only comparing you to you. Here's what that can look like. Money's a 4 because rent's coming and the number's uncertain. Work maybe a 2. The job's steady, you just don't love it. Parenting's a 5 because your kid needs you and you're already running on empty. Visibility's a 1 because being seen isn't the problem this week. None of those needed an explanation, they just are. So pause this again and mark your scales. A few things people run into here. 1 is that several areas feel like the same problem. A hard family stretch can light up caregiving, time, money, relationships, and emotional labor all at once. Mark them separately anyway. That's the map showing you how one situation can take up 5 channels. Another thing is that something's not on the page. That's what other is for. Keep the label plain: legal, housing, grief, school. A vague label just rebuilds the fog you're trying to get out of. And you may find your ratings don't match what you've been saying out loud. You've told 3 people this week that work is the problem. Then uncertainty comes in higher. The job's real, but the pressure might not be knowing whether it lasts. Rate what you feel, not what you defend. Now, pick 3. Circle the areas creating the most pressure. This is harder than it sounds because Your three loudest aren't always the three most serious. Somebody could be sitting with a long-term health concern and still find that today's three are time, unfinished tasks, and decision fatigue because there's an appointment tomorrow, 4 forms to fill out, and no ride figured out. The health concern is real. It's just not where the pressure is concentrating right now. Pick the three that are loudest in your system, not the three that would win an argument about importance. Circle those. Now the bottom of the page. 3 boxes. Each one asks for the category. Then, what is the actual situation? This is the part that does the work, so stay with me. An actual situation is specific enough that another person could understand it without knowing your whole history. Money is terrible isn't a situation yet. The electric bill is due Monday and I am 120 short. That is. Work is overwhelming is still a cloud. 2 projects due Friday and I've got 6 hours to get on it. Has an edge to it, right? Plain doesn't mean cold. It means you name the facts before you hand down a verdict. Say the category's parenting. Try this. My daughter's struggling at school, and I need to talk to 2 teachers this week, and my schedule's already full. That's a real demand and a real time frame. What it isn't is I'm failing her. That sentence might show up anyway, and it belongs to a later worksheet. Write the first one, 1 or 2 sentences, then we'll continue. Second box. Watch for the swap, where you write the feeling instead of the situation. I feel trapped might be completely true, but ask what's happening that feeds it. Maybe you said yes to 3 things and there's no open evening this week. Maybe a decision is stuck behind information somebody hasn't sent you. Maybe 4 repairs are open at once and no one's quoted the cost. Make it visible enough to point at. Third box. These don't have to match in size. One might be a major ongoing condition. One might be a small open loop that's gotten disproportionately loud. The audit is collecting evidence about your experience. It isn't deciding whether your experience earned the right to affect you. Okay, you've got 3 done. Step back and look at the whole page. You started with 20 possible pressures. You rated the field. You picked 3 and described each one plainly. That order matters. You didn't let the loudest thought define the whole load, and you didn't ask yourself to fix anything before naming it. There's a reaction that shows up here worth naming. You look at a high mark under self-improvement and think, that's ridiculous. I have real problems. Maybe. Or maybe the demand to keep fixing yourself is eating attention right alongside those real problems. The map isn't asking whether a category deserves to be there. It's showing you what's already in the system. And if you mark nearly everything at the top, leave it. Then use the 3 boxes to pick where a clearer description would help most. The map can show a very full load without asking you to process all of it today. One last look at your 3 sentences. Which one got clearer just from having to say it plainly? Did one category turn out to hold 3 different demands? Then a question to sit with. Don't answer it yet. Which of these is loud because of what's happening? And which one might also be loud because of what you believe you have to do, prove, prevent, or control? That's page 3, the second worksheet, and that's the next episode. As you continue, keep those 3 sentences close, and when it all collapses back into everything, Name the file that's actually open. The payment's due Friday. I'm waiting on an answer. 2 hours for tasks, or whatever it is. It won't erase the demand, but it stops all these demands from merging into one shapeless emergency. That's the promise of this page, not lighter, clearer. Those aren't the same thing. And the clearer is the one you can act on. Next worksheet, in the next episode, we take these three and separate what's actually true out there from what you are adding in here. That's not a way to blame yourself for feeling pressure. It's how you stop asking the outside problem to carry every part of the inside reaction. Great work. I hope you keep going, and I'll see you for the second worksheet when you're ready.